जी sir. Next slide please.
Next.
Last time जैसा हम what we discussed in Goa was that there were some suggestions from the members that we should, as a SEA, should create its own dispute resolution system, that is arbitration committee, so that we have a faster redressal and a low cost. So my request will be, Mehtaji, for details you can circulate the presentation to all. I'll quickly go through.
Yeah.
So that was the whole basis behind it, and we know the merits of alternate dispute resolution, where Supreme Court and all the government departments are now talking that don't go look towards courts because of overburdening of the courts and long time, expensive, etc. Look for alternate system. In fact, in this parliament session also, there is a now bill which is a mediation act of India. So besides arbitration, there is also going to be an option of mediation, which is much faster, much better, and can be done easily. Next slide, please. Now, just for academic interest, the difference between arbitration and litigation, I will not go into that. It is basically cost effective between two parties. You can do anywhere, anytime. All even rules and guidelines you can create of your own. So that's a flexibility which provides the arbitration option. You don't have to follow CRPC, CPC, Evidence Act, etc., the rigid process of court litigation. You can create your own method of understanding and addressing the issue. So this will be circulated to you. So you can go into it. Next slide, please. Now, why we look at commercial disputes whenever it comes to what is the core success? Why this alternate dispute resolution will become success? Because around the world, the experience is that those who have adopted trade bodies around the world, I'm just putting a small survey here, that people find it is more satisfaction because there is no acrimonious litigation, long-term litigation, witch hunting. So there is people are there. It's a fair. You can also have an arbitrator who has expertise. Judges may not have expertise on commodity trade or DOC trade or palm trade. You can even have an arbitrator who understands this. So chances of that understanding and awards are more simple and better. You have to look at compliance with the award because there is a legal cover into it. Financial benefit because it is faster. You can amicably resolve whether the issue is deliberate. You have to how to calculate damages, how to minimize the losses. All those things can be factored in an award. It lacks bias because you pick up arbitrator mutually decided person, one or three, any odd person. So what is happening is that you can put your people, those who you feel trust into each other. So there is no biasness there, and there are guidelines how to pick up an arbitrator to ensure the objectivity and unbiased approach. And these arbitrations are also internationally recognized. So whatever you are doing, even with international trader, you can handle that. Next slide, please. So while we are looking into SEA products, these are some of the substantial laws which covers our products, which is Food Safety Laws, BIS, AgMark, Sale of Goods Act, Indian Contract Act, Arbitration Conciliation. Now a lot of things we are doing with the IT systems. So Information Technology Act applies, and other payment related transactions and transport laws apply, so we can look into that. So all will be covered when we are drafting the contracts. Next, please. Now, when we are looking into commodity dispute resolution, the important things which we have to first come to, which we say guidebooks, is that defining key contract terms which our members use. What are the exceptional circumstances? What are the default and damages? Mediations and arbitration approaches. Then how to prepare for submissions, awards, arbitration to decide, and selection of arbiter. There will be guidelines for that. Next slide, please. Then when we are talking of commodity specific contracts, there will be type of products, product specifications, contract information, how we are doing it, what are the trade practices, letter of credit. All those things are part of this process which one has to look at it. Then force majeure clauses, default, how to calculate damages, supervision, sampling methods, all will be included as guidelines when we are building our own dispute resolution system. Next, please. So that was earlier part was on commodity specific, then it is transaction, because you have to move the product. So sometimes dispute happens after placing the order between the point of origin and point of destination. So what was the sales contract? What are the terms and conditions, shipping agents and their responsibilities, bill of lading, transportation issues, loading, unloading issues, lay times, how it should be calculated, damages, how it should be calculated, what should be the guidelines, so that when there is a dispute, it can be referred to those basic guidelines when we are talking about SEA based contract. So there's no dispute. Everybody knows we all talk on the common language. Next, please. Now, in order to do that, once we decide these guidelines in SEA, there will be training programs for all the member companies and all those who are interested in dealing with SEA members. And this can be done both offline, online. Basic principles of contracting, SEA contracts and their terms, supervision, sampling issues, handling shipping agents, lay time and damages, how it is calculated under SEA guidelines. Then payment terms, if there are any issues, how to look at it, force majeure, exceptional clause, dispute resolution. All those issues will be training to the members and their executives, those who are going to handle the transactions, whether it is purchase or sale. So they should know what SEA model is all about, so that they follow the same guidelines, and with the least dispute, the business can continue. Next, please. So the way forward is what we have to do is with SEA members, once in principle, I get go ahead from the SEA management, then what we will do is we'll write to all the members and ask them what are the products you want to cover, what are the legal aspects, and there will be brainstorming with all the members that what are the issues you face, which are the areas where maximum dispute happens, what are the areas of confusion or conflicts. All those things first we have to document. Those things have to be defined and addressed as per the trade practices which is happening, which is amicably acceptable to all the members in a trade practice. And then those documentation will become a guidebooks, a reference books, which we call it. This is the way even WTO operates, that in case there is a dispute, they refer to Codex, or they refer to OIE, or they refer to IPPC or any other international guidelines. So because there has to be a reference point to resolve the issue. So we will have to design that. It can be very existing methods or existing standards we have to simply adopt, or if we have to make any suitable changes as per the Indian situation or SEA members request, that we have to draft it, discuss it, and then finalize as the committee. So SEA will notify the same as an official document once these drafts are complete, approved by the management. And if there is an approach of a management committee, if there are any changes are required, suppose today we are talking of DOC, which is for export purpose, there can be DOC for poultry feed, there can be DOC for fish meal. So all depends. If you have to further classify, the contract can be designed accordingly. So all depends upon the customized needs, so that trade goes smoothly without disputes and without any conflict. Avoidable issues and conflicts must be minimized. And that is the way of a good business environment in the country. Next slide, please. So this is in brief. I just wanted to share. So you will get the presentation. Once the management gives go ahead, then I'll discuss with